Tzu Chi Texas Chapter held its first evening aid distribution for Hurricane Harvey victims. Students at Menahal School in Turkey begin to study in their new school building as the semester begins. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program with news from Mexico. In the aftermath of the massive earthquake in Mexico, Tzu Chi's disaster relief team continues to assess damages and plan further relief assistance. They have arrived at San Gregorio and are assessing the possibilities of conducting free clinics, food distribution, or cash card distribution for affected residents. Let's take a look. After the massive earthquake struck Mexico, the Tzu Chi disaster relief team arrived in San Gregorio. Upon entering the city, quake victims gathered to receive aid supplies. Since medical resources are lacking, the government sent a medical van to provide medical services.
We've been sent to serve the people who have been affected. I had to come on the first day. I got here at 8 in the morning, and I left at 8 o'clock the next morning.
I arrived at dawn on September 20th. I was assigned 200 people to immediately search for and rescue affected residents. There were 6 deaths and 15 injured.
I come from the United States.
Yes.
And then my headquarters is in Taiwan.
Okay.
And Tzu Chi, is an organization help a lot of disaster. I'm trying to talk to the commander here. Okay. How can we do the relief work? Thank you very much, General.
After the quake, aid supplies have arrived in the disaster area and there's electricity. However, there's no water, and therefore the city faces hygiene and health problems.
They are coming here because the medical center is closed, and getting in and out is difficult as well. They cannot go to other places. Without water, they cannot wash their hands. They cannot refrigerate the food they bought. They need a lot of help, especially medical assistance.
Can you tell me how many houses down, how many families are affected? How many? Do you know?
Here in San Gregorio, we
San
have
Gregorio.
600. Only here in
Only
San
here.
Gregorio.
Okay,
Yes.
600. And then money is the most important people need. Food, clothing, a lot, maybe, okay? But money, sometimes they need the freedom.
We have to find out which people
Yes.
are the people that really need it.
That's what I need your help.
Okay.
Give it a list, the name, address. Then we go check. No duplication.
Yes.
No cheating.
The massive earthquake has destroyed Ivan Barcina's house, and his family is now staying on the streets, facing an uncertain future.
We need food. If you can give me blankets, mats, or any kind of help, that is great. I'm worried the damaged house will take a long time to rebuild as it collapsed overnight.
This man and his family is one of the 600 affected families. In the aftermath of the devastating earthquake, it is yet uncertain when the residents can return to normal life. After Hurricane Harvey swept through Houston, Tzu Chi has broken records in many sectors, including the highest number of volunteers mobilized and households being helped in the United States. Recently, the Tzu Chi Texas Chapter also held its first aid distribution in the evening at the Jinsi Hall. Let's join them there.
The Jinsi Hall of Tzu Chi Texas Chapter has extended its opening hours from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., allowing the flood victims to receive aid supplies individually.
We want to comfort them and give them positive energy. I will encourage them with Master Zheng Yan's Jinsi aphorisms.
When Tzu Chi held a relief distribution in the Cambodian community on September 22nd, some of the flood victims were unable to come. On this day, they have successfully received aid supplies.
We found only 4 households did not come. However, all of them came here today. So we have distributed aid supplies to all of the households in this Cambodian community.
Many affected Chinese American families have also received timely assistance.
Tzu Chi provides many opportunities for everyone at this moment, warming our hearts.
My friend said that he has known Tzu Chi since childhood, so he has a deep feeling for this organization, and he also trusts in Tzu Chi. After learning about this distribution, we all hurried here today. Seeing many friends and neighbors also come here, I feel very warm.
Having been impacted by the disaster, each hurricane victim feels down. Fortunately, the volunteers not only provide aid supplies to the victims, but they also give them love and care.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hangzhou of Zhejiang Province recently visited needy families in Huangshan of Anhui Province. Since many young people in the small township have left for work, leaving behind seniors and children, many residents are in need of medical care. Therefore, the volunteers have gone there with a doctor to provide some medical consultation.
I am emotionally attached to my own patients as well. I hope to do what I can to help them.
Dr. Ke Qing has followed Tzu Chi volunteers, traveling for 600 kilometers to come to Feng Lingxian's house. Feng's son cannot walk and relies on his mother's care. On the other side is her daughter, who is also ill.
不想说话哦，这个吃了不想说话，那不吃以后就好一点，是不是？哦。
Huang Xiaoying cannot talk clearly and can only stand up with people's assistance. Her husband has left for work, leaving her and a 5-year-old daughter behind.
就它是遗传性的这种小脑性功能失调。我们现在用的一些药呢，是让
She suffers from congenital spinocerebellar atrophy. We alleviate her symptoms with medicines now.
Huang texts messages to volunteers to express her feelings. She knows that her mother works hard to support this family. When the volunteers celebrate her birthday for her, she gives the first piece of cake to her mother.
第一个要给谁？给妈。哎，太棒了！你跟我想的都一样哎。哎，他跟妈妈说，妈妈感恩你。哎，妈妈感恩你。 就是你很伟大。第一个蛋糕生日就是先给妈妈吃。那你有跟妈妈去田里吗？
Chen Weizhong's conditions are better than Huang's. Upon seeing the doctor and volunteers, he walks with his walking aid. The doctor teaches him therapy exercises. In addition, the doctor encourages him with attentive care.
就是可以。
I want to tell Dr. Ke that I really appreciate her.
感谢柯医师。
不客气。
Chen feels the love and has been saving up to help other less fortunate people.
保佑我一家人平安健康。
May my family be safe and healthy. May all the people in the world be safe, healthy, and happy.
For Chen, there's nothing more precious than safety and good health. In the past, repair of abdominal aortic aneurysm required major surgery, such as placing artificial blood vessels. For seniors, this is a high-risk surgery with the possibility of complications. Now, doctors can conduct fenestrated endovascular stent graft, which is covered by Taiwan's national health insurance. It is safer with a shorter healing time. Let's learn more about this new type of surgery. Mr. Liao, who's about 60 years old, has found out he has abdominal aortic aneurysm for an abdominal ultrasound checkup.
I did not feel any discomfort even before I underwent the surgery. The doctor said I must undergo the surgery. In my village, there's a woman with the same health problem, and she eventually died.
Abdominal aortic aneurysm is not cancerous tumor. Instead, it is the enlargement of the aorta after aortic walls are hardened. As aortic aneurysm bulges, the aorta walls will weaken. Once it ruptures, it leads to spill of blood and sudden death. Even for those who undergo surgery immediately, the rate of death is 50%.
We can touch and feel the bulging part that palpitates with the pulse. This is our abdominal aortic aneurysm that grows in the abdominal.
In the past, to repair abdominal aortic aneurysm, the doctor needs to conduct major surgery to place artificial blood vessels. For seniors, the surgery is high risk with the possibility of complications. With medical advancement, currently doctors can conduct minimally invasive surgery to remove abdominal aortic aneurysm.
Replace the blood vessel with stents and the surgery time is shorter. The wound is smaller with shorter healing time. If we use catheters, there would be 2 to 3 centimeter wounds near the groin.
since the position of Mr. Liao's abdominal aortic aneurysm is also connected to the renal arteries. Regular minimally invasive surgery will block the renal arteries, leading to renal failure. Therefore, Dr. Huang Shiming has decided to conduct fenestrated endovascular stent graft on Mr. Liao.
We need to connect our stents to the renal arteries. Therefore, after we place the main stent, we need to connect it to the renal arteries and place stents there. After that, we expand the main stent and the blood blockage won't be a problem. In addition, we've protected the kidneys.
After undergoing fenestrated endovascular stent graft, Mr. Liao no longer faces life-threatening conditions. To further improve his health, he has quit smoking and is watching his blood pressure, returning to work and his regular life routine. In Turkey, students of Tzu Chi's Menahal Primary and Secondary School now have a new school building. With the help of kind-hearted people, students no longer need to share classrooms with local Turkish schools. Let's take a look at how students are getting ready to study in the new school building. This building is the new campus for the 6 campuses of Tzu Chi's Menahal Primary and Secondary School. The teachers and students cherish the new school building with their own hands. They work hard to clean the classrooms, windows, hallways, and the bathrooms. In the future, they will study in this learning environment.
More than 3 million Syrians live in Turkey with us. And in Sultan Gazi, among the 39 cities in Istanbul, there are 40,000 registered Syrian refugees. Thanks to Tzu Chi, I haven't seen any beggars on the streets.
A company has generously donated 70 brand new computers to the school.
Through this activity, we hope the Syrian children will get wings that help them fly, so they can see further, broadening their views and connecting to the world. In the future, they can bring the knowledge they have learned back to Syria and rebuild their hometowns.
The European Union was the first in the world to stop the use of 4 pesticides that are harmful to bees in 2013. Taiwan followed suit this year because of the death of local bees following beekeeper protests in May. This led to the suspension of 3 types of pesticides which were used for treating lychee and longan orchards. Officially, these pesticides will be observed for 2 years. Let's follow a report and learn more about this issue.
Bee poisoning incidents have taken place around the world, but this year was particularly serious. At the end of last year, bees began to die off in large numbers. As we have found, the amount of pesticide use is quite alarming. From the end of last year to the beginning of this year, there were 19 different incidents of bee deaths. Many suspect it was due to imidacloprid. However, checked by the Bureau of Animal and Plant Health Inspection and Quarantine in March found that 16 pesticide poisoning incidents were not attributed to this particular pesticide.
We didn't check for just one pesticide, but about a dozen, one of which is fipronil and a new class of neonicotinoids. I think there should be a record, but this wasn't the focus of our attention.
The Bureau of Animal and Plant Health Inspection and Quarantine tested for many pesticides as well as organic phosphorus, though they found that the banned pesticide fipronil was suspected of being the main culprit.
There are a lot of fipronil products in Taiwan, including animal treatment. We have stopped this liquid suspension, which is spread on crops, so theoretically, this pesticide shouldn't be in use.
应该不至于造成这样子的暴露。
After tracing the source of this pesticide, authorities officially announced the main culprit of bee deaths was fipronil. Pressure from beekeepers led to the suspension of imidacloprid and neonicotinoids. Authorities also tracked the flow of pesticides for 6 months. Fipronil was not just an isolated incident resulting in the death of bees, but also causing a more serious crisis. In July this year, the European Union found that eggs contained an excessive amount of fipronil. The scandal spread from the Netherlands to Belgium and 17 other European countries. It even made its way to Asia and Taiwan. The first wave of inspection in Zhanghua included a check of 3 chicken farms with eggs found to contain fipronil residue of 153 ppb, seriously exceeding standards.
For a 60-kilogram adult, assuming an egg is 50 grams, then consumption of 1.5 eggs would lead one to reach the ceiling for this pesticide.
Eating 2 eggs a day puts one at risk of excessive pesticide risk. Fipronil is classified as a C-class carcinogen, and even if it's cooked, its toxicity can't be lessened. This has become the most important food crisis in recent years. Although the COA immediately sealed up contaminated eggs, some 2,000 egg-laying chicken farms still exist, as it is hard to prevent the expansion of this food crisis.
We are still tracing the source of the drug. It may have been leftover stock which was not used up in the past, or another supplier, as we are continuing to trace the source.
These are our pesticides. It's a big problem. Pesticides enter in various forms, and there is no record of how much comes in each year or where it goes.
A lot of farmers came in and buy a lot, such as these big bags. I try to explain to them that we don't want to simply make money by selling more. And secondly, we try to be precise like a doctor prescribing medicine.
With the egg crisis yet to abate, Nantou at the end of August also saw another incident of bees dying. Authorities tested once again and found the cause was fipronil suspension agent, showing a wide swath of pollution. The Bureau of Animal Plant Health Inspection and Quarantine, facing such dual pressure, finally announced a comprehensive ban on fipronil manufacturing, sale, and application, with fines and penalties becoming more severe.
Now we directly specify that this is a prohibited pesticide and have revoked all license for it regarding the manufacturing of it, along with increasing criminal responsibility.
After half a year of tracking, it was confirmed that the pesticide fipronil was responsible for killing bees and the problems with eggs. This led the government to institute a full ban. However, the death of bees and the problem with eggs are not single events, as it may be indicative of a larger problem tracking and following pesticide use. In our report tomorrow, we will analyze pollen and honey tainted with pesticide residues. We'll also examine the far-reaching impact on the environment.
Wang Mingli is a retired teacher from the Taichung School for the Visually Impaired. She was a teacher for 40 years and received the Excellent Teacher Award twice. She retired 2 years ago, but she still goes to the school to teach a choir. Like a convenience store, she works every day and is always helping children and giving them warmth. She taught at the Taichung School for the Visually Impaired for 28 years. She said that the country did not have musical notes for the visually impaired, so she compiled Braille musical notes for them. And for years, she has helped many visually impaired students gain confidence through music. She's delighted to be a teacher working for these special angels. Here is our report. When they came here, they were so little, and I took them out. I already missed the kids. Do I still remember them? I remember each one of them. How can I not remember them?
These photos were taken 20 years ago, but Wang Mingli still remembers every child vividly. To allow these visually impaired children find more happiness through music, Wang Mingli founded a choir and also wrote Braille notes for them.
I started with a clef, a key signature, and a time signature, and then I taught them how to sing the notes.
你今天没有去工作？
今天没有商演，那时候也青春。
When I was a teen, I was very shy and I didn't know what my goals should be, but the teacher helped me. And I could learn something in 1 year, so I bravely attended singing contests, and now I'm pursuing my dream.
When he was little, he was very cute. When he was little, he loved singing. He's been a street singer. He's been singing in pubs, and he has also been invited at weddings, and he's getting better at it.
In parents' eyes, Wang Mingli never stops loving her students all year round.
At 7 in the morning, you'll see her at school. She doesn't leave school until it's very late. And when the school is over, she won't return home at once. She'll stay at the school and teach the choir.
She has retired for 2 years, but she still returns to the school to volunteer.
She is willing to come to school to lead a school club so she can apply her profession. I feel the children can learn a lot of things from her.
Being a teacher for 40 years, she chose to accompany these special children, helping them pursue a brighter future.
I hope to see every student has his or her key and creates his or her path. On the eve of Teachers' Day, Nantou's Caotun Husan Elementary held a special celebration. Teachers led students to the playground in an effort to complete 80,000 laps around the track before the end of the semester. After reaching this goal, an NGO will donate $2,800 to buy books. Let's take a look.
Running together, these teachers and students are all running laps with an NGO promising to donate a few cents for each lap. The goal of the run is to raise some $2,800 by the end of the semester by completing 80,000 laps.
I think this goal is quite good and will be quite a challenge. This activity can also bring teachers and students together.
This is an alternative activity to help celebrate Teachers' Day. The primary school students now have an opportunity to communicate their love for teachers.
不管我有时候功课有没有写，你都努力的教导我，谢谢老师，谢谢老师教我们体育和电脑，还有帮我们维护校园的环境。祝老师教师节快乐！老师，老师，谢谢你，谢谢你，教我们天文地理做人的道理。
These children are expressing their thanks to teachers who continue to guide and lead them on the path forward.
To celebrate upcoming Mid-Autumn Festival, Tzu Chi kindergartens in Malaysia held different activities, while Tzu Chi kindergartens in Penang and Bayan La Paz invited graduates to return to the school. Kindergarteners in Butterworth and Nepotabo made lanterns for the occasion. We'll leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.